Hey, welcome back to Clean Cut, where we can talk about the truth about just about anything, as long as we use logic and common sense.
This season, we're looking at the Church's calendar and the various seasons in it. Last time, we looked at the season after Epiphany. Today, Septuagesima. Septuagesima is also called Gesimatide or Shrovetide, and like the time after Epiphany, you won't find it on a list of seasons for modern liturgical calendars. This is one season that only exists in the older calendars, used mainly by Latin Mass churches today. It starts on the Sunday right after the time after Epiphany, which is to say 9 weeks before Easter. And this season lasts for just under 2.5 weeks until Lent begins on Ash Wednesday, meaning that there are 3 Sundays during Septuagesima. Because it always starts on a Sunday and ends on a Wednesday, this season is always the same length, 17 days long. The first Sunday of Septuagesima is, of course, Septuagesima Sunday. The second Sunday of the season is called Sexagesima Sunday, and the third is called Quinquagesima Sunday, or sometimes Shrove Sunday. Aside from Shrove, these are Latin words. Septuagesima means 70th, Sexagesima means 60th, and Quinquagesima means 50th. This somewhat imprecise countdown is of course referring to the impending arrival of Easter after Lent, a season meant to represent the 40 days that Jesus spent in the desert, fasting, with 40 being the next number in that sequence after 70, 60, and 50. Quadragesima, the Latin word for 40th, is another name for Lent. This season is meant to be a time to prepare for Lent. Ideally, this would be the time to consider what sacrifices to make during Lent and prepare yourself for whatever other devotional practices you're going to engage in through reflection. However, since the main feature of Lent is often seen to be the fasting and suffering, historically this season was used for fun and carnivals. There's nothing about Septuagesima that requires engaging in those activities, and nothing that absolutely forbids it either. The final day of Septuagesima, just before Ash Wednesday, is called Shrove Tuesday. In some places, this is called Pancake Day. In other places, Fat Tuesday. However, it's perhaps best known by the name of Mardi Gras, a French term that literally translates into Fat Tuesday. Mardi Gras, like Christmas and the Eve of All Saints' Day, Halloween, is best known these days for the secular and non-religious customs and celebrations that surround it, but we're certainly not required to see it that way, and it's a good time for spiritual reflections, participating in the sacrament of confession where available, and making a final decision about what you're going to voluntarily sacrifice during Lent. In the modern liturgical calendar, Shrove Tuesday would still be the day before Ash Wednesday. It would just take place during ordinary time instead. Next time, how long does Lent really last, and when does it end?
That's all for now, so keep asking questions, and thanks for watching.